across the frozen plain, the pursuit unfolds with relentless intensity. The Wolfpack surges forward not in chaos, but with cold precision, like a coordinated strike. Each shift in movement narrows the chance of escape. Each burst of speed tightens the encirclement. The wolves' most formidable strength doesn't lie in a single set of fangs, but in the unity of the entire pack moving as one. From the conifer forests of North America to the frozen lands of the far north, wolves stand as symbols of endurance and pack order. An adult gray wolf weighs around 120 pounds and can run close to 38 miles per hour. With tireless strides, they can accelerate like arrows cutting through the harsh wilderness. A thick coat, a keen sense of smell, and distant howls help the pack remain connected across vast open landscapes. Within wild ecosystems, wolves play an important role in regulating prey populations and maintaining nature's delicate balance. Possessing extraordinary muscle strength, the grizzly stands ready to overpower any intruder bold enough to approach. At its feet lies the valuable nourishment from a recent hunt. For a wolf pack already drained by the harsh season, this resource is more than food. It is the only chance to endure the unforgiving winter. The tense standoff begins. The grizzly swings a powerful paw, its 4-inch claws slicing through the air. Yet in the confined space, the wolves' agility proves more effective than raw force as they skillfully avoid the strike. In a straight run, a grizzly bear can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, nearly matching the pace of a wolf. But in tight quarters, agility becomes the ultimate advantage for the canid hunters. The wolves employ a harassment strategy designed to distract. They coordinate with the rhythm of a finely tuned system. The large bear pivots again and again, trying to drive away the shifting gray shapes, but each attempt falls just short. Raw strength now faces the quiet pressure of pack intelligence. Focused on the surrounding challengers, the giant briefly reveals an opening, a moment of hesitation. Exactly what the wolves have been waiting for. One swift approach, then another, and the prize is taken away before the ruler of the highlands can react. In this encounter, strategy and coordination prevail over sheer power. In North America, a living fortress stands across the open land. It is the bison, a giant weighing around 2,000 pounds, wrapped in a thick coat against the cold, and armed with short horns strong enough to keep most pursuers at a distance. Despite its massive build, This animal can accelerate to nearly 40 miles per hour, turning every charge into a powerful force across the prairie. Yet winter becomes a relentless ally for the wolves. As the cold gradually drains the giants' stored reserves, the pack appears. They avoid a direct approach towards the 12-inch horns, instead forming a wide arc and launching a pursuit that can stretch for miles, steadily wearing down the opponent's endurance. Through swirling snow and tense collisions, a target slowly emerges, the individual falling behind the herd. The wolves tighten their formation, turning collective coordination into constant pressure. At times, even the protection of the herd can create a fragile moment. A hurried shove causes a young animal to lose its rhythm, and the opening is quickly filled by the hunters. It is a long-standing rule of this frozen land, harsh yet essential. Such encounters gradually remove the most vulnerable and help keep the prairie in balance. As autumn arrives, the conifer forests tremble with one of nature's most resonant sounds, the call of the elk. It is not only a challenge for dominance, but the opening movement of a demanding season of survival. Each adult bull weighs around 700 pounds, carrying a many-pointed rack of antlers, both a crown of maturity and a formidable line of defense against any rival. Amid the white sweep of early snow, wolves find advantage in the very obstacles of the terrain. They do not rush. The hunting pack follows at a measured pace, observing and waiting for a single misstep. During brief bursts, wolves can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, quickly closing the distance to a solitary animal. To resist the pressure, the elk moves toward a frigid river channel. There, deeper water slows the wolves' approach, and the antlers become a shield held at the perfect height. Yet the pursued animal now faces another challenge: the cold. Even when the water rises only to the knees, the icy current gradually drains its strength. At times, success doesn't come from direct confrontation, but from patient calculation and seamless cooperation. A hard-earned prize, secured through endurance, such is the quiet law of the wild. Across the North American tundra, where extreme cold can reach nearly -40 degrees Fahrenheit, a great migration flows like a living current. Hundreds of thousands of caribou, the planet's most enduring travelers, move across the continent on a journey stretching more than 3,000 miles. Weighing up to 700 pounds, and equipped with hooves that function like natural snowshoes, They cross thin layers of ice with remarkable stamina. They are the only members of the deer family in which females also carry antlers, a proud symbol of survival in the polar wilderness. Yet across the open landscape, the presence of such vast herds inevitably draws attention. Wolves begin a quiet, psychological strategy. They do not rush into action. Instead, their steady presence places the herd under constant pressure for hours. As the caribou split apart and then struggle to regroup, a few individuals begin to lose track of the approaching threat. That brief confusion offers a crucial advantage for the hunters. With no wasted motion, a wolf closes the distance and delivers a swift bite, bringing the tense pursuit to its end. When silence returns to the tundra, valuable energy has shifted from one life to another. For the wolves, the reward becomes the nourishment that sustains the next generation. Through the white veil of drifting snow, a living fortress comes into view. It is a herd of Musk oxen. Weighing more than 900 pounds, they wear coats of long hair that nearly touch the ground, while their curved horns form a solid shield across the forehead. Following an instinct shaped since prehistoric times, the herd forms a tight defensive circle, a display of remarkable calm in the face of danger. Against this wall of strength, the wolves rely not on fangs, but on pressure and fear. They circle the herd, growling and making sudden feints designed to stir confusion. Patiently, they search for the smallest crack in the herd's iron discipline. Each advance is met by an unmoving barrier of horns, a silent warning. Only one loss of composure, a single opening, and the fortress can unravel in an instant. In this contest of survival, victory does not always belong to the strongest, but to the one that remains calm the longest. When order begins to break, instinct yields to fate. In the polar world, even the smallest mistake can carry the highest cost. When large prey becomes scarce during the long cold season, wolf packs must shift to a very different style of hunting. This time, the target is the Arctic hare, a small animal weighing around 10 pounds, yet capable of bursts close to 37 miles per hour and nearly disappearing against the snow with its seasonal white coat. In a land where temperatures can fall near -40 degrees Fahrenheit, survival leaves little room for wasted energy. Against a small, extremely fast animal that changes direction without warning, wolves cannot rely only on endurance, as they would with larger prey. They must shorten the distance, anticipate the running path, and react almost instantly to every sudden turn across the snowdrifts. The pursuit may end quickly, yet behind it lies a demanding test of adaptation. In this frozen world, nature does not honor strength alone. At times, the smallest targets force predators to refine their instincts to the highest level of precision. The Arctic is a place where hesitation means falling behind, and the polar bear is built to hold the advantage. Its massive body moves across the ice and snow, steadily narrowing every possible escape. Each close approach blends strength, endurance, and a remarkably precise hunting instinct. Even other predators tend to reconsider their distance when it appears. What allows the polar bear to maintain its commanding presence in this unforgiving frozen world? The polar bear is the largest bear species on the planet. An adult male often weighs around 1,400 pounds and can reach about 8 feet in length. Its coat is made of nearly transparent hairs that cover dark skin, helping the body absorb and retain heat more effectively. The bright white appearance also provides natural camouflage across snow and sea ice. Wide, fur-covered paws help maintain steady traction on slippery surfaces. Within the Arctic marine ecosystem, the polar bear stands as the top predator and reflects the overall condition of a rapidly changing frozen environment. As the Arctic summer gradually draws to a close, the tide pulls back and reveals narrow bottlenecks near river mouths. There, groups of beluga whales must pass through shallow channels to feed, shed their skin, and care for their young, causing the vast ocean to suddenly narrow for a brief moment. From a high rocky ledge, a polar bear watches in silence. It does not rush into the water without purpose, but waits for the precise moment when the beluga formation becomes crowded near the shallows or a narrow passage. Yet the whales, guided by their remarkable echolocation, can often slip away in an instant. Unwilling to give up, the predator moves several miles farther to set up a new watch point at the tightest gap in the ice. When a beluga surfaces for air in a vulnerable position, the bear responds with a swift movement, seizing the rare opportunity. At the edge of the world, advantage does not always belong to the fastest, but to the one who understands when to wait. As the tide closes again, another cycle of life quietly continues across the white Arctic landscape. The Arctic is not a realm that allows mistakes. Across this vast white wilderness, the ringed seal, An animal weighing only about 150 pounds forms the most critical calorie link, making up nearly 70% of the diet of the region's top predator. To survive, the seal has developed a clever system of snow bunkers, hiding beneath thick layers of snow while maintaining secret breathing holes through the hard sea ice. It surfaces for only a few brief seconds to draw air, and in that moment, the line between safety and danger becomes remarkably thin. Above the compressed ice, the polar bear appears like a silent figure of patience. It does not waste energy on long, uncertain chases. Instead, the giant operates like a quiet strategist, capable of remaining still for hours beside a breathing hole in temperatures near -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Each broad step spreads its weight across the ice, allowing it to approach without sending even the faintest vibration through the frozen surface. When the water finally stirs, the moment unfolds in a single powerful motion. A well-timed strike can provide the precious energy needed to sustain the predator for several more days. Yet, on this frozen battleground, success is never guaranteed. Many of these silent ambushes end with nothing more than the wind moving across the ice. A herd of caribou appears like a ribbon in constant motion. These resilient travelers carry hooves nearly 4 inches wide, functioning like natural snowshoes that help them stay steady on soft ground. Yet those very tracks can unintentionally form a pathway for a quiet predator, the polar bear. The bear's strategy follows the strict math of survival. Isolate the vulnerable. It waits patiently for individuals that fall behind because of injury, fatigue, or youth. Along deep snowy slopes, where the stride of a caribou becomes slower and more difficult, the polar bear releases a burst of power to close the distance with remarkable precision. With a full-grown caribou, the bear may drive the animal toward icy water. There, the balance can quickly shift. In the freezing current, the bear becomes a powerful and flexible swimmer, supported by strong lungs and its great body mass. When the predator finally pulls its prize onto the rocky shore, the moment marks not only the end of a long migration, but also a quiet reminder of the intelligence and adaptability of the Arctic's top hunter. In the harsh, high Arctic, desperation can push predators into extreme gambles. When seals grow scarce, an exhausted mother bear, carrying the responsibility of her cubs, makes one of the most daring decisions: approaching a massive herd of walruses. Each adult here can weigh around 3,000 pounds and carries tusks reaching about 3 feet in length, giving them the presence of a fortress that is extremely difficult to challenge. As the walruses gather along the sandy shore to rest, The mother bear quietly moves along the edge of the formation, reading every movement while waiting for the moment when the herd's order begins to loosen. When the walruses startle and press towards the water, the bear increases the pressure, turning the sudden confusion into a chance to separate a younger or slower individual from the moving mass. At this moment, flexibility and awareness become the only keys that may open a narrow path to survival. If successful, the energy gained can be substantial, enough to sustain the bear for many days. However, the risk remains extreme. If the walruses reach the water in time, the balance quickly shifts. In this frozen world, such encounters are not simply acts of aggression, but a harsh calculation between risk and reward, where adaptation determines which life will still see the Arctic sunrise tomorrow. Amid the chaotic chorus of tens of thousands of seabirds, a massive white figure quietly traces its path of survival along a towering cliff. No longer relying on swift strikes beneath icy water, the polar bear is now forced to become a careful climber more than 200 feet above sea level. Along narrow ledges where even a small misstep could bring serious danger, the giant slowly places its wide paws while approaching nests resting close to the edge. Each egg holds only about 300 calories, an amount that seems remarkably small compared with the tens of thousands of calories this large body requires each day. Yet as the familiar sea ice disappears, the once dominant hunter must accept the trade-off, gathering even the smallest sources of protein it can find. Here, survival is no longer about the pride of a ruler, but about patience, like a traveler enduring the bare rock until the Arctic winter returns. In the Arctic, nature does not operate through mercy, but through a harsh calculation of calories. As sea ice, the very foundation of survival, gradually disappears, the boundaries between individual polar bears become more fragile and more dangerous than ever before. An adult male weighing up to 1,400 pounds stands like a living fortress against the white snow. Even its quiet presence alone can impose control over a food source or a critical travel corridor. When tension rises, it does not rush into a reckless clash. Instead, it lifts its head, tightens the powerful muscles across its shoulders, and releases deep, resonant calls, a ritual used to measure the confidence of the opponent. If neither side yields, the two giants may enter a heavy test of strength, where powerful swipes help establish a new order of dominance. The tension reaches another level when a mother bear appears with her cubs. In the world of top predators, a hungry adult male can pose a serious danger to young bears. At this moment, the encounter is no longer about food, but about the most fundamental instinct of survival. The mother bear, though smaller, must turn vigilance into her greatest advantage, using mobility and swift defensive reactions to offset the difference in size. Each encounter becomes a cold measure of energy and the right to pass life forward. It is not meaningless chaos, but a harsh rhythm that keeps the lifeblood of this frozen kingdom from fading away. Beneath the frozen sky, the Wolfpack brings the hunt to its close with discipline and flawless coordination. They are not only skilled predators, but enduring symbols of refined survival instincts. The greatest strength does not belong to the strongest individual, but to a group that moves and acts as one. Press like to continue exploring nature's most remarkable survival strategies. And remember to subscribe so the next secrets of the wild are never missed.